Man, I just saw a bullet train. Yo, how do I pack all of this? So it starts off at this hospital, right? This little boy named Waturo is sitting in the bed. Yurishi is his father. He's sitting there distraught. His grandfather Kamuru comes in. We found out Waturo was pushed off the roof by somebody, and he's basically in critical condition. Then we get to this guy's code name is Ladybug, played by Brad Pitt. And this other operative named Maria was talking to his headphones the whole time. So he always feels like he has bad luck. But she called him Ladybug because obviously Ladybug stand for luck. Is there irony in it or sarcasm? So anyway, his whole purpose of getting on this train is to retrieve this briefcase. So as he's getting on the train, there's this kid on the train. Then these two brothers get on the train with this kid. Turns out their code names are Lemon and Tangerine. Apparently these guys have done jobs all over the world. Oh, by the way, this train is in Tokyo. So these guys are supposed to be guarding the kid and also guarding the briefcase. Now this briefcase is supposed to go to this guy by the name of the White Devil. Inside the briefcase is like $10 million. So who's the White Devil? Well, we're about to give you a flashback scene. I can't pronounce the guy's name, but we're going to go with the M clan. Anyway, the 6'6" Russian dude tried to prove himself worthy to get inside the clan. He started beating up niggas. And he gets in the good graces of Mr. M. But he thinks he can rule the clan, and he gets his people together and he ends up turning on Mr. M. The Russian guy that killed Mr. M is the White Devil. And apparently he's revered all over Tokyo at this point. So Ladybug sneaks on there, gets the briefcase. You think to yourself, all right, he's about to just leave off the train. Then he gets stopped by this guy in a white suit. Turns out this guy's name is Mr. the Wolf. And basically he's fighting Ladybug. He wants revenge on him, but you're thinking to yourself, why? So apparently the Wolf was like this gangster or whatever like that. And they showed this scene where he's about to get married to this chick. But it turns out everybody at the wedding was poisoned except for the Wolf. Because I guess it was poison inside the wine. So why wasn't the Wolf poisoned? But it turns out somebody bumped into him before he could take his drink. Now who bumped into him? Happened to be the Ladybug. So it was an operation for a while ago, but the Ladybug doesn't remember the Wolf. So in the scuffle, he accidentally kills the Wolf. So then we get to the scene where Uramichi actually gets on the train, and basically he's trying to find the person that pushed his son off the damn roof. So he goes to section B4 in like first class. He ends up seeing this little girl in a pink shirt. She gives this scared look or whatever like that, but then she gets to drop on him with a taser. Turns out this quote unquote little innocent girl in the pink shirt was the one that actually pushed his son off the roof. I'll get back to her in a minute. Now it turns out throughout this exchange, Lemon and Tangerine check to see if the briefcase is there, and it's not, because Ladybug already got it. So basically, while they're trying to figure out something, they go back to their seat. They find out the son is dead as shit. So who killed the son? In between these interactions, they got to get off at a Koto. But like the White Devil's got niggas at like every stop. He's trying to make sure the brothers are doing their job. The way they get out of certain situations is quite hilarious. Somehow in the scuffle, Tangerine's looking for something and Ladybug ends up catching up to Lemon. Now Lemon thinks Ladybug stole the briefcase. They get into a battle. He gets the drop on Lemon. Now while he's talking to Maria, he pours this substance in this Fiji bottle of water. That's going to come back later on. Now let's get back to the pink shirt girl. Now, he wants Yurichi to hold this gun. Now, you're thinking to yourself, this guy came for the sole purpose of killing this pink shirt girl, so why is he giving her a gun? Well, the thing is, she's real good with bombs. And on top of that, she's got somebody in place. So, like, if he tries to kill her and she doesn't respond to her guy within, like, 10 minutes, within every 10 minutes, he has orders to kill Wataru immediately. But this is why she feels even more safe giving him a gun. There's a triggering device in the gun, so basically, if anybody tries to shoot, it's going to shoot backwards and kill him. But he doesn't know exactly how it works. Somehow, throughout a certain scuffle, Ladybug ends up losing the briefcase and the pink shirt girl ends up getting it. They end up getting a combination, open it up and see the $10 million, and then she rigs it with a bomb and closes it back up. Now, her whole purpose is to use Uramichi so they can end up getting the White Devil. She wants to kill him herself. But why, though? So it gets to a situation where Tangerine is trying to find Ladybug because he's been going back and forth on the train. And they think Ladybug was the one that killed the son they're supposed to be protecting. But they found out because of the way the son died, he had blood dripping off his face or whatever. Turns out he could have possibly been poisoned. Now, what kind of poison does this? Turns out they found out there's another assassin on the train, somebody called the Hornet. Ladybug fights off Tangerine. He somehow hides himself in a different bathroom, on a different cargo plane part spot. So he's going through spots. He ends up kicking over a box accidentally and a freaking snake comes out. I think it was called the Bonsuna type of snake. It basically has a poisonous bite where if it hits you, it'll kill you within 30 seconds. Now the Hornet, whoever the Hornet is known to kill their victims through snake poison. The Basuda snake type of poison. This movie's insane, yo. Let me get to this part. Now all this mayhem is going on. Basically, the snake is running loose on the train. So somewhere in the train, Lemon and Tangerine slid up and Lemon ends up catching up with the pink girl and Yurishi. Now he's thinking about killing both these motherfuckers, but he wants answers and questions from somebody. So the pink girl somehow convinced Lemon that Yurichi was in charge of their situation. They end up shooting Yurichi, done deal, dead as shit, right? Now while she's doing trying to do fake acting, begging for her life and stuff like that, Lemon is drinking his Fiji water. Oh shit. So right when he think the pink girl is bullshitting and he's about to shoot or whatever, he starts getting woozy or whatever. Yeah, that same water that Ladybug drugged. He falls out, pink shirt girl takes the gun, done deals him, dead as shit. Lemon's done. Both Lemon and Yurichi bodies get carted off and thrown in the bathroom. There was this one part where Ladybug and Tangerine were fighting and somehow he ended up kicking Tangerine off the train. Tangerine ran in the back and caught the back of the train. That thing is going at like full speed. He's still hanging on and he starts headbutting the window so he can get himself back in the train. I'm like, this is crazy. So in between there's this mascot in the middle of the train that's like tussling with people back and forth and just playing around. It's like a Momoichi mascot. Ladybug bumps into the mascot again. Turns out we find out The mascot is actually the Hornet. So they show flashbacks to the Hornet actually killing the son. And the way she kills people, she basically slices their throats. But more importantly, she uses like snake venom and the needles. So they go one-on-one, but Ladybug ends up done dealing the Hornet, stabbing him with the needle. And he's thinking to himself like, don't you have an antidote? He somehow gets the antidote, but he stabs himself with it. He's like, are you serious? You don't have 2 antidotes? Like, come on, man. Well, you better than this. And then she's crawling around, done deal, dead as shit. Why he stabbed himself with the antidote, I'll tell you that in a minute. So yeah, I forgot about this one scene where they got off at a certain stop. And at this point, Ladybug was with Tangerine and Lemon was nowhere to be found. So they had to make it look like they had the briefcase. So these Yakuza looking niggas are waiting for them to get off the train, right? The thing is, they know Lemon and Tangerine are brothers, but they don't know what they look like. Lemon's black and Tangerine's white. But everybody always thought they were twins. So Ladybug and Tangerine get off and pretend to be brothers, and he's got a briefcase in his hand. And they almost got away, but unfortunately it was the wrong briefcase. And he's playing around the briefcase, he spins the numbers. Unfortunately, it was the exact numbers. The briefcase pops open, there's like a bunch of clothes. We're like, what the fuck? And they hurry up and get back on the train, but that part was crazy. So anyway, later in the movie, it gets to a point where Tangerine actually gets back on the train after he got kicked off of it. And he runs into the pink shirt girl. But after that conversation, he thinking something up. So he's about to kill the pink shirt girl. All of a sudden, Ladybug comes out of nowhere. And he accidentally makes Tangerine shoot himself. So Tangerine's done deal dead as shit. So Ladybug's like, yeah, I'm going to help out the pink shirt girl and make sure she's good. So after all this, is another stop. And all of a sudden, Kimura actually gets on the train. So the thing is, pink shirt girl can't fool Kimura. He knew the situation about his grandson, Wataru, being watched. The thing is, he had somebody watching her kill her. So the person that's supposed to kill Wataru ends up getting done deal by a nurse that killed him. So regardless, Wataru is safe. So she runs to the other side of the train trying to figure out something. We don't see her for a while after this. So now it's just Ladybug and Kimaru, and they're about to have a conversation. So Kimaru tells his backstory. Turns out he was actually part of the M clan. When the White Devil was fighting to become the White Devil, Kimaru was actually a subordinate to Mr. M. And he wants to kill the White Devil personally for him killing his master. So now all these elements are about to come together. And it's gotten to the point where all the Washu dudes and the White Devil personally is going to meet everybody at the Koto station. Turns out he was the one that bought tickets to make sure everybody got on this train. So Ladybug and Kimaru go into the bathroom. Turns out Yorimichi is still alive. And it turns out Lemon's still alive. Lemon had a bulletproof vest on. So we got these 4 on one part of the train. Who knows where the pink shirt girl went? And majority of the time, Maria was still talking in the headphones to Ladybug. All right, so let's get crazy with this shit. They get to the last stop. White Devil approaches onto the train and sees the pink shirt girl. Turns out the pink shirt girl is named Damushka, and it's actually the White Devil's daughter. What? She goes to a speech about never getting approval from her father, and she pulls a gun on like she's about to shoot him. He takes the gun away and acts like he's about to shoot his daughter. And she's like, go ahead, do it. You know what I'm saying? So like, why does she want him to do it? Then I'm like, oh, that's the gun she rewired. But the White Devil didn't pull the trigger. He just decided to let her go and keep going on. And she's thinking to herself like, fuck, he didn't fall for it. So our other 4 dudes come up with a plan before the White Devil gets on there, right? So they get Ladybug off the train. He's got the briefcase. He gives him the briefcase, right? Now, like I said, the White Devil wanted to kill everybody on the train, but this is why. Lemon and Tangerine kill a bunch of people, right? But they did this little job in Bolivia. Turns out the people they killed in Bolivia was part of his clan. Now, the thing was, the White Devil's wife ended up getting killed in this like car accident, right? The thing was, he was actually supposed to be in the car instead of his wife. Now, the thing was, she was supposed to have surgery, and she would have made the surgery. The problem was, somebody killed the surgeon. Turns out it was the Hornet that actually poisoned the surgeon. Now, Ladybug's thinking to herself, you got everybody on this boat. What does this guy do with me? Now, remember how I said at the beginning, Ladybug was supposed to be doing a job for this dude by the name of Carver? Well, see, the White Devil thinks Ladybug is Carver. Carver is actually the one that did the hit on his wife. That's right, he facilitated the car accident to end up killing his wife because he thought he was going to kill the White Devil. Now, whoever told him to stay out that car that day, I'm still stumped on that mystery. But bottom line, all these people had something to do with his wife getting killed. But here's the thing, Ladybug's like, I'm not Carver. Then one of the White Devil's men ended up opening the briefcase, explosion happens. Lemon ends up starting up the train even though he don't know how he did it because everything's written in Japanese. And then the beef is on the cooking. Everybody beating up niggas, and then we get one-on-one with Kimaru and the White Devil. Lemon and Ladybug end up saving each other's life, fighting back and forth against dudes. But Lemon ends up tackling one dude out of the fucking train onto the water. So Lemon's off the train. You're thinking to yourself, he's dead, right? Hold that thought. So depending on where the train was supposed to go, bottom line is it's not on the same rail. It's on like opposite rails and shit. So it's like fucking up other trains that are not moving, just completely going off the rails, literally. Trains go off the rail, done deal, crashes everything. All these trains just discombobulate, everything's getting fucked up. So you're thinking to yourself, nobody survived this shit, right? All of a sudden, Ladybug gets up. All of a sudden, the White Devil's there in front of his face. And he's still trying to kill Carver, but he ain't got no bullets left. He ends up dropping that gun, picks up another gun, and we're like, oh shit. He tries to shoot Carver, but the gun manufactures and shoots the White Devil's head, done deal, dead as shit. That's when we find out that's the gun that Domishka re-triggered. Then all of a sudden, we find Kimaru and Yurichi still alive. We're like, what? So all three of them are alive. Then all of a sudden, Danushka comes out nowhere with this big ass gun. She's about to lace niggas. And all of a sudden, she gets hit by a freaking tangerine truck. So who the hell hit her with a truck? Turns out Lemon was still alive after falling in the water. He gets up and stops a car. Ends up being a tangerine truck. You see him getting in the car, and he's the one that runs over Danushka. I was like, wow. So Yurishi and Kamara go their separate ways, and Ladybug's just sitting there. All of a sudden, he looks over to the right. He's like, Maria? Turns out Maria's played by Sandra Bullock. So she's like, yo, you need some potassium. I got a banana in the car. And then right as they're walking towards the car, this big old telephone pole just comes through and smashes the freaking car. And he's like, you think it's bad luck or good luck? Because considering, we could have gotten the car and been crushed. And then they just walk off into the sunset. Hilarious. I probably missed a couple parts, but you get the gist of it, yo. Bullet Train, yo. You got to check that out now. On Netflix, son. Yeah.